Hey y'all, welcome to the 86 That Podcast, episode 25. Um, it's also April 25th, which is it's pretty cool. I didn't really have anything to talk about this week, so I figured we would talk about sports and weather. So, yeah. And also, as always, there's comedy at Little Montreal tonight, amateur hours. Uh, If you want to try comedy, come sign up. If you want to have a laugh, come have a laugh. Come have a laugh, come have a beer, come have a hot dog. Yeah. No free spins. Uh, no more free spins. Um, yeah. So let's get into it. Let's talk about sports and weather. I got some facts on what's going on in hockey and baseball. So let's begin with hockey because there's so much reading. There's a lot to read. So let's let's get into it. The Ottawa Senators were at home. Their fans actually showed up. They took their first lead of the series, and they had a 2-4 power play advantage. In the end, in the end, none of it mattered. It was a 3-2 Leafs final again. Just like the game before. Oh, okay, I haven't been following, so I didn't know. But we also have some more on it. So, while I'll never write a team off, well, this isn't my perspective. This is what we have on it. Um, so whoever wrote it will never write a team off until they are dead and buried. It felt like the Leafs took the Senators' best shot tonight. I'm not sure when this was written. In a game where things weren't always in their favor, and they won anyway to take a commanding 3-0 series lead. Their first 3-0 series series. I don't know how to say that. Lead since their sweep over the Senators in 2001. Your game in 10. Hmm. One expected. As expected, this game started with a ton of energy, with the Senators back at home and the arena featuring a good mix of Sens/Leafs fans who were rowdy and ready to go from the drop of the puck. They were ready to go from the drop of the puck. The matchups The matchups changed as expected with a few wrinkles. We knew the Austin Matthews line would draw the Shane Pinto checking line. From there, Ottawa shifted it around. The Tim Studzil line generally matched up against the John Tavares line, while the most surprising matchup was the Dylan Cousins line against the Max Domi line, leaving the Scott Lafton unit against the Adam Gedet fourth line. The against Gedet fourth line. The key matchup was the Domi line against the Cozen line, a match that the Senators hoped to tilt in their favor. With the energy and pace high on the ice, the Leafs created the first noteworthy score chance of the game. Pontus Holmberg, for the second time this series, broke in all alone, and similar to the first time, he doesn't own a good enough shot to shoot a puck by a goalie Cleanly, I think. He really needs to develop a deke of some kind. A deke of some kind. Shortly after the game took a turn, the officials seemed to be on high alert in the first period and were quick to call coincidental penalties on Brandon Carlo and David THRU, leading to 4-on-4 hockey at 4-on-4. Tavares, I think, took a hooking penalty on a scoring chance, giving Ottawa an early 4v4 to take the lead. With the energy, and did we already read that part? This is the one that we already just read. All right, so there's so much reading, we're not even halfway through. Here we go. The Leafs often turn to Mitch Marner or David Camp. I don't know how to pronounce that in these situations. But in this scenario, the coaching staff went with Laughton. I'm gonna laugh every time I read that. Read Laughton. Who was excellent on the kill. He shot it forward on the face-off to clear the zone and did well to pressure and block shooting lanes. Excuse me. Before Marner came on towards the end of the kill and picked off a pass of his own, the Leafs' huge early kill avoided an early deficit. Alright. I'm gonna have a sip of peppermint tea and keep reading. Cheers. When the Leafs got the kill, Ottawa took momentum from their power plays and titled the ice afterwards for roughly 8 minutes. Well, fortunate for the Leafs, Anthony Stolarz. Hey, that's almost like my buddy Rylan Stolarz, but it has a Z at the end. Anthony Stolarz. I don't know why that's funny. Just like a Z on the end. That's silly. Was excellent. Most notable, he made a huge save on Studzels. I don't know how to say that. Who came off the bench, flew down the ice, and took a pass in the high slot all alone. Ridley Grigg also had a good chance in the high slot, but it was blocked in front. By the time the period ended, shot attempts at 5-on-5 were 16-9 for the Senators and 22-12 overall. Although the actual shots on net were just 8-7 for the Sens. Usually after a big early kill like the Leafs, some momentum is gained, but the zone time and touches seemingly went to the Sens' legs. The Leafs simply couldn't break the pressure. Three, under those circumstances, you're hoping the top line can hop the boards, and break the momentum, but it was the Tavares line that eventually turned the tide. With about 7.5 minutes left in the period, after Nylander Jared a puck loose at the Sens blue line, Holmberg provided the support and Tavares passed it to Nylander, who gained the zone and found Tavares high for a shot on the net. On net, the that led to offensive zone face-off, where the newly formed dummy line with Max Pacioretty came out and generated a great shift. Domi drove the net down low and just lost the handle. Before the, I'm going to zoom in a bit so maybe I can read faster. Before they had a chance, chance off the rush where Donnie hit Passy already with a crisp crisp cross crisp cross ice pass. That sounds cool. Pass. Crisp cross ice pass. That's interesting. I'm stuck on that. That's cool. Crisp cross ice pass. That sounds really cool. Anyway, we got to keep going. Got to keep reading. We're not even halfway through the hockey stories, so yeah. Passy already tried to go back door to McMahon, but he handcuffed him with a pass he couldn't possibly convert. The new third line was good for the Leafs in this game, surrounding Donnie with two physical towers and starting them with offensive zone draws what a positive experiment overall, one that is worth continuing into game 4. Late in the period, Holmberg also hit Nylander with a breakaway pass. Nylander settled for some sort of hand clapper shot from distance. Truthfully, it was the most bizarre breakaway I can recall from Nylander. Or did I get this facts from? They keep speaking like I, like giving their opinion, and I'm reading it. I should. I'm, I'm gonna see if that's on one of these. The Leafs went to a power play towards the end of the period. Did a great. Oh, it's just Google. Excuse me. You just search on Goggle Sports and okay. Uh, the Leafs went to a power play towards the end of the period and did a great job moving it forward. But they couldn't close. Twice Taverneries collected the puck down low with space and options, but chose the Leafs. Uh, where was it? Yeah, but chose wrong, including an instance where he walked out alone in front and tried to pass instead of shooting. At the end of the period, with the puck pinned below the Sens goal line, Knees was digging for it and took a cross check from behind by Chabat. Knees cross checked Greg after, and only Knees was sent to the box. I guess the penalty box? The box. That's cool. Negating the rest of the Leafs power play. 4. It turned into a critical penalty. Not only did the Leafs lose, loss, lose, lose, lose out on the rest of their power play, but at the end of 4-on-4, Nylander took a really bad penalty after a good shift. He stuck his leg out for little reason in the offensive zone for a trip, sending the Senators to a 5v3 for a minute and 25 seconds. I think that's what that means. With Lafton again started the kill and did a great job with McCabe and Tarnev. It's nearly impossible to kill a penalty for this long. The goal itself wasn't particularly special either. Claude Jurix pulled high end essential saucered a shot through traffic with conjunct screening. Stollers couldn't see it, and Jurax appeared to catch him off guard with the quick release. For the first time in the series, the Ottawa Senators possessed a lead. 5. I think that's maybe halfway if there's 10 chapters to this, or 10 sections, or more peppermint tea. Yeah. Okay, let's get into number 5. The lead lasted all of 7 minutes. All of 7 minutes. Matthew Knies got the goal back on a Leafs power play. Nylander and THRU cycled it to each other on the half wall before Nylander sucked in some Senators penalty killers up high as Knies leaked out to the goal line for a pass. When Knies took the pass, he fired it diagonally through the Senators' penalty kill to Marner on the point where Marner one-touched it cross ice. Oh, that was didn't last time it was crisscross ice. One touched it cross ice back to Nylander. Nylander's shot was blocked, but Knies grabbed the loose puck and tried a pass in. Tried a pass in tight that deflected in. The goal itself wasn't pretty, but the process was excellent, and the Leafs were rewarded. After the goal, Tavares put together a couple of monster shifts to push for the lead, including a wraparound attempt and another look where he took a pass in the high slot and just missed the essential shot as well as his own rebound. I thought rebound was basketball. I guess it's diverse, or I guess as you can put it. I guess it, Yeah, I don't know much about hockey, so yeah, but yeah, he's centering his centering pass then deflected and almost went in. Tavares was excellent in the game in this game. 6. As flagged the in as flagged in advance of game 3, the Leafs top line was playing fine to good in this series. But at some point, they needed to elevate their play. On the first shift the, of the third period, a 1-1 game, they went out and absolutely dominated the Senators. Marner and Matthews won multiple battles in retain or to retain possession in the offensive zone, leading to a Carlos slap shot that just went wide and bounced out to Riley. Riley made a nice read to rim it low to Marner, who was waiting for it and made it absolute an absolute beauty of a one-touch to pass off the wall to Matthews, completely the Allmark, completely fooling Allmark. The Senators goaltender didn't follow or process the play at all, and all Matthews needed to do was find a piece of net, which he did for his first goal of the series. This was a shift from the top line and a huge goal in the game/series. 7. There's only like 3 left if there's 10 chapters or whatever. Let's go. Let's keep reading about what's going on in hockey. Then we'll do the weather and stuff. Again, come to comedy tonight. Come have a beer, come have a hot dog, come have a laugh. If you laugh, throw some money in the bucket. We'll get to that later. Number 7. Similar to game 2, the Leafs played really well after taking the lead. Ottawa was was accomplishing absolutely nothing in its push to tie the game. The pace was right where the Leafs wanted to be. As they slowed the game right down, however, just in game 2, the Senators scored on their first shot of the period, and it came nearly 11 and a half minutes into the third frame. There's not much to break down on the goal. Tukachuk came in off the rush and shot it. Excuse me. Peppermint tea is so good. Came in off the rush and shot it short side high. I don't think Stolarz has been beaten by a goal like this all season long. And I'd argue, and whoever wrote this would argue it, and Google would argue, that's right, Google. And Google would argue it was the worst goal given up by either goalie in this series. Stolarz has been excellent and gets a ton of leeway accordingly, but it is what it is. But it is what it is. This was a weak goal. Eight. After the Senators tied it once again, I thought Google thought the Leafs were the better team. Their one scary moment came shortly after the tying goal when Batherson drove the middle of the ice and took a pass on a mini 3v2 that turned into a wide open look for him against Stolarz. 1v1. After the poor goal against Stolarz, stood tall and made a massive save. More peppermint tea. I love this stuff. I love peppermint tea. Oh, I'm almost out of peppermint tea. The Tavares line that generated two good shifts where they dominated inside the offensive zone but couldn't get it over the line. On each shift, Tavares came out from behind the net and turned like he did for his series winning against Tampa. but he couldn't quite link up with a teammate cleanly for a goal. In the final 5 minutes, each Leafs line saw multiple shifts, speaking to their depth and the coaching staff's trust in their 12 forwards. With a minute and a half left excuse me. With a minute and a half left, the top line generated a good shift, creating a turnover at the top of the Senators' zone before Marner broke in with some space. Marner made a cut-in move that had shades of his goal a few weeks ago against Lightning. Against the Lightning. Let's go with Lightning. Against the Lightning, but Sanderson took his legs out. This was maybe the easiest penalty call of the night, and completely missed call. But the composure from the Leafs afterwards was a major positive. We're getting through this. We're talking about hockey. If you like this, comment below. Maybe I'll talk about sports again. Maybe we can make it a regular thing. Even the weather. Like, let me know in the comments if you like it. The THRU's line that then generated two good shifts where they dominated inside the offensive line. This is the one that we just. Alright, that's the second time I open the same one. That's okay. The Leafs aren't getting too emotional about the EBBS and flows of a playoff series, and look really settled and calm, no matter what comes their way. On the flip side, the opposite reality of the opposite reality is visible on the Senators bench. 9. We're almost through hockey, and then we'll go to baseball and weather. Just a minute and a half into overtime, Simon Benoit stepped on the Senator's throat. Oh my gosh. Is that a metaphor or a figure of speech? Like, that's scary. there are a few things I, Google loves about this game-winning goal. The first is that the Matthews line started the period, generated a reasonable shift, and barely rested afterwards as Berube put excuse me, put them right back out for an offensive zone face-off at one at a minute or face-off a minute later. That's coaching to win, not to mess around. I Google also liked what led to the face-off. Domi went down the wing and then and threw. Domi went down the wing and threw a shot on net right on Elmark's chest from the wall. It was an absolutely nothing play. That's harsh. But it drew an offensive zone face-off that ended up deciding the game. Well, that's good. Deciding the game. Maybe I'm gonna zoom in. I'll read faster. Deciding the game. Domi could have tried to curl and make a play or create something out of nothing, or try to create something out of nothing. But he put a puck on net, drew the face off, and allowed the top line to hop the boards for an offensive zone draw. From there, Matthews cleaned out the face off. The Leafs captain was 65% on the dot in this game and posted the best face-off percentage of his career this season. Marner did well and did well to trust his teammate and run a slight pick inside of attempting to make a play, and Benoit blasted a shot that nicked through traffic and into the net. Cool. Benoit steadily Benoit steadily improved offensively this season over last, and this was another example of confidence he built confidently, ripped a clapper for a playoff OT game winner. His delayed celebration, probably in disbelief, was hilarious. 3-0 Leaves. Number 10. So we're on the 10th chapter or whatever from Google's review on this. This was a really good team win for the Leafs. Lawrence 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 played a team low 10 minutes 39 seconds of ice time, and a big part of it was due to not only the six penalties, but between the two teams, but but 4-on-4 play. That doesn't sound good. 4-on-4 play. Uh, I hope that's not what it sounds like. 4-on-4 play stemming from all other penalties. The Leafs rolled their line fairly regularly, and every player played a clear role. The Lawrence line with Lafton. I gotta chuckle every time I read that. Lafton. That's a cool name. And Jarn Kruk took zero offensive zone face-offs, and a team high five defensive zone face-offs. Shot attempts were 6 to 7 when they were on the ice. The Matthews line scored both of the team's 5-on-5 goals and did a bit of everything. Four-on-four play and did a bit of everything. Weird. Oh man. The Domi line only took offensive zone face-offs, and while while they were technically on the ice for the lone 5-on-5 goal against, they they created real scoring chances. Pacioretty was physically and noticeable was physical and noticeable in his return. Both Pacioretty and McMahon were credited with 7 hits each, making contact with everything that moved. The Tavares line could have easily notched a multi-goal night. They went on multiple breakaways. Tavares had a chance in the high slot and his own rebound afterwards. And there were also the above mentioned shifts toward the end of the third period. On defense, OEL recorded the low TOI mark of 18 minutes 7 seconds. Speaking to the strength and depth of the Leafs defense group on any given night, OEL could be the one who plays the least in brackets, all in brackets, and it's not like he struggled. McCabe led the Leafs defense with 21 minutes 48 seconds TOI. Is that an L, Toronto Leafs? I'm not sure. Which underscores the tight TOI distribution on the blue line. We already knew this, but McCabe is the top dog of the Leafs defense, clearly. All in all, this was a great team win against a desperate opponent facing a must win. That is all. That's all we have for hockey. Seems to be a lot going on in the hockey playoffs and stuff. Let's move on to baseball. We got some stuff from Google to talk about baseball. So we'll do that. Then we're gonna go to weather, and that's the podcast for this week. So yeah. The Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, we were just talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Blue Jays is what I meant to say. Have have had a rough hit, had a rough patch in this season. So we're gonna read about it, and yeah. So the Toronto Blue Jays have had a rough patch in this season after starting the 2025 campaign off well. Toronto has dropped its last 5 games to fall to 12 to 13, and the and third in the AL East. Despite recent struggles, one bright spot for the Blue Jays has been their pitching staff. They rank 10th in MLB in team ERA at 3.79. Well, Toronto has allowed 33 homers this season, which is second worst in baseball. It has done well overall at keeping the team in games. This success has come despite an injury to veteran right-hander Max Scherzer suffering an injury in his first start of the season. Excuse me. I think I'm drinking too much peppermint tea. I gotta burp all the time drinking peppermint tea. I did eat before the podcast. Maybe that's why I'm burping. Anyways, let's get back into this. Suffering from an injury in his first start of the season, Scherzer has been on the injured list with right thumb inflation. On Friday, it was reported by Keegan Matheson of MLB.com that Scherzer received a second cortisone shot, but was still weeks away from rejoining the rotation. Not long after this news, the Blue Jays bolstered their organizational pitching depth with a signing next. The Blue Jays have signed T. Connor Overton to a minor league deal and assigned him to AAA Buffalo. Mitch Bannon of the Athletic wrote on X. Overton, I think X means Twitter now. I think they changed their name for some reason. Overton made his debut with the Jays, not the Leaves. I keep reading the Leaves. We're talking about baseball now. The Jays back in 2021 owns a 4.85 ERA and 59.1 MLB innings, 7.85 ERA across 3 minor level last year with the Reds. Overton has not pitched in the major leagues since 2023 with the Connecticut, Cincinnati. Why did I read Connecticut? Cincinnati Reds in his 18th game, in his 18 games in the big leagues. The 31-year-old has a career ERA of 4.85. And WHIP of 1.298. Overton has played for 3 organizations since 2020 when he was in the Blue Jays system. The right-hander made his major league debut with Toronto in 2021, allowing zero runs in 6/2/3 innings. He features a four-seamer and a changeup, a slider, a sinker, a cutter, and a sweeper in his repertoire. His velocity is considered to be well below average on those offerings. Is that the last one? That is the last chapter of the baseball, the stuff we have on baseball. So I'm actually gonna take 5, and we're gonna go into weather. I'm gonna make another peppermint tea, I think, and yeah. So let's go into weather, and I'll be right back. Yeah. Yeah, so I'll hand the mic to myself doing weather. Hey, I'm back. I'm here to bring you the weather. As you can see, today is going to be +8 with a chance of snow. So expect some snow tonight. Saturday +11. Sunday +19. Monday +17. Tuesday +18. Wednesday +11. And I heard that Thursday is going to be +13. So that's cool. And tonight the sunset is going to be at 8:25. So come hang out outside Little Montreal and watch the sunset. And then have a laugh at the comedy show. Yeah. AQI, good in brackets 37. UV index low, humidity 100%. Wind 11 kilometers per hour. Dew point 4 degrees. Pressure 1024.4 MB. Visibility unlimited. I think we've read this already. Pollen, none. And running, good. So I guess it's good for running today. High, low, -/13 degrees. Wind 11 kilometers per hour. We said that. Humidity 99%. Dew point 4 degrees. Yeah, we already read all this. Except for moon phase is waning quiescent. So I don't know what that means, but yeah. All right, I think that's it for the weather. The air quality is good, 37. Um, Air quality is considered satisfactory, and air air pollen poses little or no risk. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is necessary. We already covered the weather. All right. Thanks for hearing me out talking about the weather. Um, all right. As you know, I'm HK. Now back to HK. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Um, yeah. Thank you for watching episode 25 of the 86 Step podcast on April 25th. That's cool that we dropped it on the 25th, episode 25. Um, Thanks for listening to me talk about sports and watching me talk about the weather. Again, amateur hours tonight. Doors open at 8. Show starts around 9ish. If you want to come sign up and try comedy, try to sign up before 9. Come have a laugh, come have a beer, come have a hot dog at Little Montreal tonight. Yeah. Thanks for watching.